Hello, happy Monday, happy week 8. Last week, it was like 90 some odd degrees and like 100% humidity. I think it was like 75, 80% humidity, but it was so hot and so humid, and it thunderstormed all night, and now I'm outside in this sweater because it's like 60 some odd degrees. I'm gonna go home and throw open all my windows. I wish I would have done it before I left, but it's just so nice out. It's not humid. It is warm in the sun, but cool in the shade. And I talked about this like 2 weeks ago. I love that feeling. I don't have any broadcasts today until this afternoon, so it gives me a little bit more time in the morning to just like enjoy. And this is also the problem when it's like nice like this, is I'm gonna know now for the whole day that it's like this outside and just want to be out here, and I do fear most of my work needs to be done indoors. Let's talk about week 8, shall we? I showed these last week, but these are so much fun, and it's nice to like come out here and do some controlled breathing and have bubbles. So that's enjoyable. These are by the Bubble Blowing Cigarettes Company. I'm not affiliated, I'm not sponsored. I would love to be, because I bought the original one of these, which were wax paper, and I actually bought them for like everybody I know. Not really. I bought them for my sisters and my best friend, and now they have these in what I imagine is like a 3D printed box that looks like a cigarette box, and they're metal. So I still have my original wax paper one, which worked fine, but it kind of did like micro bubbles. Like I could never get it to blow like the bubbles that it would show in the ads. But these are very fun, and you can fit 2 cigarettes and your bubble juice in here. And I don't know, they just like bring so much joy and whimsy into your life, right? The whole thing with the Artist Way is that your inner artist is a child. And it's kind of fun to like let yourself feel that, right? Like as I'm walking out in the woods the last couple weeks, I've been noticing some spots where, you know, trees have fallen or what have you, and their roots kind of look like shark fins, right? And I'm like making up a cute little like daydreamy imaginary story about like the sharks of the woods, and it's very fun and cute and childlike. And these kind of feel a little bit like adult money. You know, like this is what I'm choosing to do with my adult money kind of vibe. But they're very fun. I'll put a link because like in no way do I get anything from it, but I do really like them and I think it's very fun. Anywho, let's talk about week 8. So I do think I need to preface week 8 with the margins of the first 5 pages are filled with hate mail towards Julia. She compares lost creative ideas to women having miscarriages. She says, and this is a quote from the book, criticism is like covert sexual harassment. And it just feels as though, I don't know, I don't like the comparison, I don't like the metaphor here. Maybe it works for some people, it doesn't work for me. She then goes on to talk about how like there's kind of like real art and not real art, and I really hated that section. I wrote boo hiss over the entire passage, where she talks about how some people, when they don't reach their artistic potential, instead of filmmakers, they're film editors, or instead of working in fine art, they work in commercial. And this whole book has been trying to like tell you like there's no right or wrong way to do art, and then she like puts her bias out there that like if you're an editor, I don't think you're as, you know, artistically creative as a director, or if you're doing commercial art, you're not doing real art. And I really hate that. I hated that whole section. I basically crossed it out of the book because it felt very opposite of everything else we've been talking about. You can tell that school's out for summer and that the weather is nice because everybody's out here. I feel like I've been doing this literally for the last 10 weeks if we're on week 8, and it hasn't been this busy. It's nice to see people at the park. I just met a puppy named Mia. She was so cute. But all that to say, she goes on to say there's a right and wrong way of doing art. It's also crazy to me that then she goes on to say how artists are always going to do art even if they have to pivot. So like it's completely contradictory to that whole point of like there is a real way to do art, where she talks about how, you know, there's a film director who goes on to write novels. There's an actor who uses his acting to make films. Like how there's, I literally think she says like, every end is a beginning. You know, you can frame things different ways. So it's just like very insane to me how she's talking about how like there is like a real way to do art, or there's a correct path for you to do art, and then to go on to say how you're always going to find another door for art. So I don't know, I was like in a really good mood, obviously you saw this morning, and I was in a good mood when I read this, but for whatever reason some of these moments this week really just like stuck me. I think I wrote down one time and I erased it, like I don't think I like Julia. There's another author, Austin Clayton, I think is his name. He writes books about how to steal like an artist. I think his book that's coming out literally probably this week is Don't Call It Art. And I really love his books, but also like I love his voice. I love his pacing. I like how he presents things. I don't necessarily like Julia. I do respect what she has done in this book, and I'm obviously following her teachings, but I don't feel like I like her, which is just a funny thing to write down in a book and then erase it, because I was like, well, that's kind of mean. Speaking of which, because of his new book, Don't Call It Art, Austin posted, the author, posted on Instagram really how he has like 2 work areas. He has his like digital work area and his analog work area. And I kind of took this advice for doing my morning pages, because I was doing my morning pages at my desk where I have no less than 4 computers on my desk at any given time, and I normally have my phone there and whatever, right? So like it made it really easy to accidentally just like, oh, I'll go do this or whatever, right? So it's just really interesting because I took that advice and now I've been doing them in the living room, and if my laptops or phones like come in the room with me, I take them out of the room so I can have a completely analog space to do my morning pages, and it has made me better at doing them. Like I don't feel like I'm pausing as much. I feel like I'm just like actually doing my stream of consciousness. I'm not getting distracted. I'm sitting down, I'm doing my morning pages. And as somebody who does not have really a lot of space to have 2 desks in my office, I don't think that's possible, but it is nice to kind of create some like maybe analog areas or some non-work areas in my home, because I work and live in my home. So that has been an interesting takeaway that didn't necessarily come from this book, but has helped me complete the morning pages. So some key quotes I highlighted this week. Ask how instead of why me. Ask what's next instead of why me. I'm too old is something we tell ourselves to save ourselves the emotional cost of the ego deflation involved in being a beginner. Many blocked creatives tell themselves that they're both too young and too old to allow themselves to pursue their dreams. Instead of allowing ourselves a creative journey, we focus on the length of the trip. No creative act is ever finished. Fixated on the need to have something to show for our labors, we often deny our curiosities. Most of the time, the next right thing is something small. Creativity requires activity. You have to do something in order to feel better. I oiled my hair before we came out, and it's a rosemary oil, so I feel like the gnats are just like smelling me, and I smell good. So it's crazy. Did you ever, if you did not grow up in the place of the woods, you probably don't know this, but like, especially when we played soccer, it would be like, oh, put your hands in the air, because they're more likely to go for like the tallest thing. So they go for your hand instead of your face. I knew. This week's activities require a lot of like imagining a dream world and who you are. So that'll be an interesting thing to do this week. So as we're starting week 8, the themes of this week appear to be, you have to start taking small steps, right? We go to the edge of the cliff ready to take a big leap, and then we're like, we can't do it. But really, action is 1 foot in front of the other. It's 1 bite at a time. It's doing things 1 step at a time. And the creation, the journey, the process is what the art is, not the finished product. It's really interesting because while I was reading this chapter, I had some thoughts about automation, right? Right now, everybody is trying to optimize and automate their life. We automate our payments, we automate our grocery deliveries, we put everything into ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or whatever we're using, Copilot. God forbid some of you guys are using Copilot, but you're putting it all into the robot and asking it to do all the thinking, all the processing for you. And I think really at the end of the day, life is in the journey, life is in the process, life is in the doing. And I'm not saying all automation is bad, because I do like when my doctor automatically makes me a doctor's appointment before I leave the office. And I like that Sometimes my payments come out automatically, but I think that perhaps we're losing something in all of this automation. I think especially people are like, oh, I automate it so I can focus on doing things I actually want to do. And I don't know that that has ever really been the case for me, especially when it comes to any kind of AI solution, right? So do with that what you will. You can think I'm totally bonkers. I don't really care. I'm gonna continue my walk and enjoy the day before I have to go back in. I do need to shower and get this oil out of my hair, and probably a lot of bugs now too, and eat some breakfast before I get started with some actual work, not creative unblocking work, which I wish I could just be doing all day. Hello, it's Tuesday. It's already been a day. My hair is so greasy, and normally I use dry shampoo, and then I'm like, ugh, the dry shampoo didn't work. But I feel like today, maybe I haven't been using enough. I poured like half the bottle on my head, and I feel like it's working kind of. It's after 12 p.m. I had a broadcast this morning from 7 to 12, and then when I got off, there's a couple of like calls that I had to call people back. And I have a very long to-do list, and I have a shoot tonight at 5:30, so I don't really have time to shower, and I did not give myself enough time in the morning to shower. So I am trying to make myself look a wee bit presentable. Then I'm gonna get back to work, and then I have to get packed up and ready for the shoot tonight after work is done. And then after the shoot, I have to come home, and there's just so much to do, and I'm feeling very, very overwhelmed. Very overwhelmed. Anyways, let's get back to it. I also kind of feel like with a girl with dark hair, like dry shampoo just makes my hair look really like dull. And I know they make like brown ones, but I've never found like a brown powdered one that I liked. Anyways, I feel like we're looking pretty good now. I've never been someone that actually knows how to do my hair, if we're being honest with ourselves. So this is what we're working with. Time to continue being compressed into a zip file by my job. I think that's what they're doing today. It's 2 p.m. I just completed a landing page for a day job client, and I'm trying to respond to some emails because I feel like all of my inboxes are just like stressing me out. Those are my collages that I made last week, those two. I had to find a home for them, so now they live on my wall. Do you like my wall? It's filling out nicely. Does it look like they're kind of like coming off? I have gotten myself into this nice little morning routine where I wake up, I do my morning pages, I make breakfast, I go for my walk, and then I come home and then I start working. But with my session starting at 7 this morning, I got up, I did a morning page because I underestimated. Oh, but what I wanted to say is that like now that it's like 2 o'clock, and you know, I did a session, I made a landing page, I've done a lot of like day jobby things, I would like to lollygag. And I feel like in the morning I used to scroll on my phone for like an hour or two, literally before my day got started, and that was like a form of lollygagging. But my walk has really replaced that, and I think in a better way. Like I think it's like better for me to go outside and like hang out in the woods or whatever, right? But now like I kind of am in the middle of my workday, right? Like it's not like it's the end of the day, but like I'm feeling the urge to lollygag, and I keep finding myself like grabbing my phone and trying to scroll. So I think I need to put my phone in focus mode, and unfortunately I don't think I'm gonna get a lot of lollygagging in today. Hello, I've changed my mind. I figured I could edit after I do my shoot, but you wanna know what I can't do after my shoot that's probably gonna end at 7 or 8 o'clock tonight? Sit out in the sun, because the sun will be gone. So I'm trying to go sit at a bench that's like right over there, but unfortunately my enemies are here, so we'll see if they let me pass. And there's more on the way. There's more over there. I don't know if you can see them behind me. I don't want to look them in the eye, you know. Okay, so that hour went by so quickly. I am doing one little baby lap before I get back home so that I can get back to work, but enjoyable. It's so beautiful outside. Like I said this yesterday, I can't get over how nice it is, and it makes you want to quit your job. You know, like when somebody was like, was it a Kardashian that's like, it's just 80 degrees outside and I don't want to do any work. don't know if I'm actually gonna include this in the vlog. I just caught a glimpse of myself like walking in a mirror, and then I saw the time. It's 4:45. I have to be at a shoot at 5:30, and this is what I have on. So okay, we can do it. We can get it together. We can do it. So like, here's the after. This is what she looks like. It's not my best, most greatest outfit ever, but we gotta go. Hello, happy Wednesday. I have showered, I have made breakfast, I have rebooted my laptop for an update. My phone is still in sleep mode, but I need to open my room in 2 minutes. And I haven't done my morning pages yet. So, it's Wednesday, my dudes. I feel like this is a hot take, but especially since cigarettes are back, why not? I do feel like I look a little bit better when I have a little bit of color, right? Like, I sunblocked a lot, but I still got just a little color, just a little tan, and I feel like I look better. I'm so tired, friends. I'm so tired. While I was like sitting down for my session, I like remembered a whole bunch of things that I needed to do. So I started like jotting them down, and it kind of like sent me into a little bit of a tailspin. But I have just been churning out some reels, some content for some clients. Also, I didn't actually look at the name of these. Brad picked these up. We have a C-town, which like if you're not from the tri-state, I suppose, I think that's where they are. I don't really know. I should Google this. Where are C-towns? Hold on. Let's look. I got lost down a rabbit hole. All this to say that C-town is a New York City franchise grocery store that we have one here locally. And when I go to pick up like sale items or what we need. And when Brad comes with me, he gets all the snacks. I was looking for something in the kitchen to just be like a little nosh so I can keep going and keep creating more content to carry me on before I make dinner. And I reached in the cabinet and I found a candy bar that Brad picked up at C-town. And C-town is typically owned by, you know, people who speak Spanish, Latin Americans, Mexicans, right? So it's not necessarily a Latin American grocery store in the same way that you have like Asian and Indian grocery stores, but you know, it just how it be. And I ate the candy bar and I just looked at the name, and it's called Jumbo Flow. It's like a Colombian Snickers that Brad picked out, but I had not looked at the name until just now, and I think it's kind of a funny name. Anywho, I am going to keep editing some more videos, and what else is on my little list? It's mostly editing and creating content for social media. All of the other things that I need to do that were like email related that I wrote down have been done. So we're going to do that. And then I'm basically making baked mac and cheese for dinner. It's in a recipe book that we got from the book sale. So our library does a book sale, and we went the last day, which is like fill a bag for like $10. And there was really not a lot left, but they did have a couple of cookbooks left. So we picked out a couple of them, one of which being like a one pan cookbook. And Brad and I went through it this weekend, and we're kind of like tabbing like, hey, this sounds fun. This could be different. This sounds interesting. And Brad picked out this 3 cheese pasta bake. Also, if you're wondering, it's Wednesday, and I have not done anything for The Artist's Way at all for week 8. So I have one thing left on that sticky note that I really need to do tonight, but it is 6:10, and I need to make dinner because I need to eat. It just has to happen. So I will do it after dinner. So I have my pasta bake. It smells so good. It's just pasta and cheese, really, and the recipe called for red bell peppers, but I also added some roasted broccoli because I like broccoli and cheese. I don't know. So as I was like making this, I'm thinking about how like, is the reason that I am trying new recipes because of The Artist's Way? Is it a cause and effect kind of thing? And I think a lot of like adulthood is like learning that things are not linear, right? Like in your youth, in your adolescence, there are steps, right? After you graduate, or like after you complete this class, you go on to this next class, or after you do this, you do that. And like I said, I just feel like so much of adulthood is learning that like there is nothing linear really anymore. like healing, unblocking, working is not necessarily as linear as it was as you were growing up. I see what they were trying to do with the red pepper and this like combination of cheese. I do also gotta say, like, I'm enjoying the cookbooking instead of like using my phone or whatever. But I'm gonna watch some TV and relax and eat my little pasta bake and enjoy. Another day not focused on my unblocking. I have so much work to do. It's stressing me out. I'm running to the grocery store for just like 2 things really quick between meetings. I had a session this morning. It was the last of the 3-day session that I was doing. So we're all set there. I have another call this afternoon and then another session this afternoon. And I have a lot of work to do. I feel like otherwise running to the store really quickly. I have to figure out when I'm going to do my artist way stuff, because it just feels like I've been working from the second I open my eyes until the second I close my eyes at night, which is not necessarily true. I do feel like this week my life has been a lot of like must-dos. Like from the second I wake up, it's okay, what do I need to do before my call starts? I need to eat, I need to either shower or get ready or whatever. Like, it's okay, we do that. To get on the call, then like after the call, sometimes I have more calls. And then like I'm just like doing the must-dos, the to-do list items, the things I have to do, until it's time for bed, basically. Like there's no like fun time. And I know like people are like, well, you should reframe it to be like, I get to do that. I don't have to do that, I get to do that. No, I have a laundry list of things that I'm contractually obligated to do, and I'm spending all my time doing them, and I have no time to live. Friday. I keep wanting to say Monday. This has been just a week of Mondays. It's Friday. I don't have a first thing in the morning call today, thank golly. So I was able to do my morning pages, and they were a mess. And I'm out on a walk really quickly, so that is nice. I do have a session this afternoon, and then I'm going to a concert with my parents tonight. So I basically have to leave right for my session to go get out there. There's a buck over there. Hey boys, how's it going? Anyways, they cut the brush back on the main path. I'm on like the extended path, so they didn't really come up here. And it made me irrationally upset. I think I'm just like stressed out on edge, so everything makes me irrationally upset. But they like cut back so many of like the flowers and the plants, and I'm like, I was loving those. Part of my morning pages this morning were talking about how do I need to do another week for week 8, and how that feels like real failure because it took me 2 weeks to do week 7. Is it going to take me 2 weeks to do week 8? And I also don't think next week is going to be any better. Next week is just as busy meeting wise, and then I am also organizing on the committee to organize an event for the YMCA. So I just don't think it's going to get any easier until the end of July, if I'm going to be honest. And then I'm sure there will be something else new that pops up. So do I just like rush through the task so I can get to week 9? Or do I take another week? I don't know what the answer is.
Let me up, or you're gonna have a real bad. Yeah, I am a smart mouth. How'd you think I wound up where I am, who I am by now? Just another minute till we sister sign off. So if you're not winning, wave bye. Babe, I got a third eye. I don't do receipts, I'm a witch, fill me up for my switch. I'm a bitch, I'm a devil in disguise. Then I'm hypnotized. They don't even know what it is. They're in on the ride of their life lifetime. You in the control is. Hype me up, or you're gonna have a real bad time. They don't even know what it is. They're in on the ride of their life lifetime. You in the control is. Hype me up, or you're gonna have a real bad time.
This really makes me look like I have bangs. So it's Saturday. I never came back to you. I just cut my hair at the end of my spiral, and then I got to work. You know, I think the haircut really helped me focus. So it's Saturday. I'm gonna do some cleaning. I'm making some potatoes, some hash browns, and I'm just gonna get to it. It's very like first world problems, but I ordered the new Olivia Rodrigo CD, and it's coming it's coming UPS, and it was supposed to get here the 16th. It's the 20th. It hasn't moved since the 15th, and truthfully, it's like a 2-hour car ride away. So I just opened up a ticket because I love listening to CDs. I want it to come through my speakers, and I want to put on a CD and do things. I don't actually know if I've talked about this on here, but we're really building our physical media collection because, right, physical media is going to outlive digital media, I fear. And also, again, I just hate this subscription model. I hate this, like, unconscious spending. We talked about this a few weeks ago, but we're mostly thrifting movies, games, DVDs, Blu-rays. Brad refuses to buy DVDs. I will buy a DVD. I don't care. So we're mostly thrifting them, but sometimes Brad buys new CDs. And I have made a CD purchase. And when I ordered You Look So Sad for a Girl in Love, I also picked up the new Hayley Williams CD. So I just want them. I want them because we have a lot of disco. Brad has purchased a lot of disco, and it is very fun to clean to. But I'd really love to, like, sing my little heart out. Who knows? Maybe I'll put on, like, a Billy Joel album since we went to see Mike Delgin just last night. Either way, I need to get up and do things because I've been scrolling, and it's already 11 a.m. Okay, so I've been sorting and putting away laundry, and I feel like I have a couple of, like, go-to outfits where I'm like, hey, I'm gonna run out the door. I'm gonna grab this outfit and run out the door. But I feel like I have worn those ones to death. Also, if we're being completely honest with ourselves, I've gained about 10 pounds in the last 4 months. So none of my clothes fit right. And I would like to lose that 10 to 15 pounds that I'm currently carrying, which I think is due to stress, which is part of why we're doing the artist way. But neither here nor there. I have gone shopping and got a few other outfits, and I feel like I just don't know how to style them yet. So I'm kind of counting this as an artist date. I'm putting together some outfits that perhaps I could grab and go. I have this skirt. It's a little like midi skirt, and to be honest, it actually looks much better in camera than when I look at myself in a mirror. It has this like flowery green pattern, and I just don't know what to wear it with. I also don't know if it's the best for me. Like, I tend to like skirts that have a bell, and this does not. I mean, that could be, I could add a petticoat, I guess, but if I'm just looking to like run and go, and I was like, oh, what white shirts do I have? I don't own that many white shirts, and this is what I got, and I just don't know. It just doesn't feel like me. Maybe this skirt was not the move. Maybe this is not a skirt that necessarily belongs in my closet. I don't know. What do you think? Okay, so next, I got this vest, and it's supposed to be part of a three-piece suit. It's very cute. I wonder also if it would be like a little bit cuter if I took it in just like an inch or two, so it was like a little bit more fitting. And this is definitely more of like a fall sort of vibe, but this feels very cute. No? How do you style a vest like this if I don't have slacks? I guess I should also look for like some gray slacks in this like color, because I think that would be very cute. A gray slack with a matching vest. Is that in right now? A little pantsuit moment. What do we think? I don't know how to style this at all, but it's very cute. I thought it was very fun. Is it giving like secretarial? I don't know. What do we think? I got this cute little top, and I don't know what to wear it with, so I need your help. How do I style this? This is also the only pair of light wash jeans that I own, apparently, and I will be getting rid of them because they're like oddly stretched out. I don't know, they're just odd. So I feel like the light wash works, but also I don't know, I want to also, if we're being so for real, this feels like a very like spring summer shirt, and I'm not wearing jeans in the spring and summer. So what do we think? Okay, so I have these gray pants that technically I bought for Brad, but like they were definitely mismarked on Poshmark. They said they were men's like large or extra large, and you can't see, but like they're the perfect length for my little stubby legs, minus like the crotch like just sitting a little too low, because I imagine they're men's, but I just don't think they're men's, extra large. And actually this artist date is canceled because I hate the way all of these clothes look, and I'm not having fun. So we'll try again later on another day. But also, if you have any ideas on what to wear this with, like would a brown skirt work with me? I don't know. What do we think? this a good color for me? I was nervous about that when I bought it, and my friends were like, I'm sorry, I'm too close to the camera. It's also crazy because this is a petite, and not to show you my armpit, but like it just feels as though even for a petite, like I could probably take it in, maybe? I don't know. Like it still feels like the armholes are like a little bit odd and like wide, right, as you can see. And listen, I'm very used to having to size up for my chest, but I don't know, something's, and like, is this a good color for me? I asked my girlfriends this, and they're like, we love that color, we love that, that's so fun. And I just don't know if it's the right color for me personally. It's a very cute top, but is it actually my style? Do I actually like it, right? Like, I don't know. We'll try again another day. But also, if you know what to wear with this, let me know. Maybe those guys are just a little bit too outside of my style comfort zone. So we are going to a show tonight, and I think that this is what I'm gonna wear. Something like this, maybe. And I just think that I look so cute in this. I look so chic. Like maybe that green isn't the color for me. It's maybe the fabric isn't right for me. I want to be cute and stuff. I also just think that I am a fall baby. Fall and spring are really my seasons, because this obviously does not scream summer, but I do feel like it feels like fun and cute. So that's what I'm thinking. And then maybe a little shawl or something, because it's been unseasonably chilly. At least it was yesterday. So I do feel better. I feel like this looks really cute. So not to show off a little leg, but I think that this, and this is what I'm saying, like, I feel like you can't see the bottom of the skirt because I'm too short. Oh, wait, hold on. I got these shoes the other day. Brad hates these. I'm definitely not going to wear it with this, I don't think. Brad hates these, but look at how fun they are. They're almost like jellies, but like, he's like, it's a foot cage. You're putting your foot in the cage. But I do have some boots that I think I'm gonna wear with this, and I think it'll be really cute. This might be a little bit much, but what do we feel about, like, how do we feel about these shoes with this outfit? Like, cute or not? I think I have to paint my toes.
They don't even notice. They're in the ride of their lifetime. You cannot control this. Happy up, we're gonna have a real bad time. They don't even notice. They're in the ride of their lifetime. You cannot control
Sunday.
this.
Happy solstice. It's also Father's Day. It was just Juneteenth. We really packed in everything we could in one weekend, and I'm exhausted. Last night, Saturday night, we went to see SVPA's production of For Colored Girls. It was wonderful. Obviously, we do the marketing for it, so we always get to kind of see things in progress, but seeing like the actual production and being able to attend as an audience member is always so magical. And it was just so good. As these things go, it was an 8 p.m. show. So we didn't get home until after 11. So I'm exhausted, as you can tell by the designer bags under my eyes. 2 days in a row of being out and about in the world. I'm so lucky that this has been my life, but also your girl needs a rest. So it's about noon. I spent the morning really editing and doing client work, right? Creating reels, scheduling content, editing the content that we took last night at the production, creating some graphics for clients, responding to emails, all the things. So I am now trying to at least take a little bit of a nature walk and absorb some solstice energy, but it's also Father's Day, so pretty soon I'm gonna head over to my parents' house to celebrate with my father for Father's Day, and then all of a sudden it'll be Monday again, and we'll be back at it, and another hectic, crazy week. And 2 weeks ago, Brad told me, he was like, stop letting me book groups before 11 in the morning at his other job, and he agreed to let them come in at 9 a.m. tomorrow, which again is like fine for like normal job things, but like, and I'm working on an event at the Y that's happening next Saturday. Sunday as the rain date. So I need to head over there to get marketing content for them. There's some shows coming up at SVPA that we need to shoot this week. I would love to do another batch of content for Conjured for July and August, because summer is such like a long time. It's nice to have some options when it comes to the summer content. And I am extending week 8. If that wasn't abundantly clear, I have not done anything for the Artist Way. I just talked about how busy next week's going to be, but I'm hoping that I could at least get some things done. And I did not do anything this week. So I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'll feel better if I can give myself one more week to do week 8. So we're not counting this one as a fail week. We're just extending the deadline. So that's the plan. It's interesting because on my YouTube homepage, I'm getting a lot of like Artist Way hate videos, right? People who are like, I think morning pages are dumb, or this is why nobody finishes the Artist Way. The gnats are really bad. And I think I've been pretty transparent with my journey here, is that like, I think I had some breakthroughs. I think I had some good moments. I think that the morning pages work for me. Like, I'm so sorry to say this, but waking up and journaling and doing a morning walk, it works. It works. I'm so annoyed that it works, because it works. And this past week where I couldn't get up and get my 3 pages in and lollygag in the morning before I started my work day, I felt it. And I feel like that maybe was part of the problem. So that's why I'm hoping next week will be a little bit better. I'll have a little bit more time in the morning to kind of do my Artist Way stuff, so I don't just have to extend week 8 again. And if I do, I'll do it. I do want to finish this journey. Like, a lot of people say that like they've never made it past week 8. A lot of people say they've never made it past week 6. It's going to take me obviously longer than 12 weeks, but I would like to finish this Artist Way journey. I'm going to continue my solstice walk, but I hope that you're enjoying your summer. I hope that you're enjoying your life. I hope you're finding whimsy every day. And if morning pages work for you, I hope you're doing them too. Till next week.
You're gonna have a really, really bad time, sir.
This shit.